Have you noticed how your mind isn't quite the same as it used to be? Maybe you're forgetting where you left your keys more often, taking longer to remember familiar names, or even struggling to concentrate on simple day-to-day tasks. This is more serious than you might think. Studies reveal that over 40% of adults over 60 suffer from some form of cognitive decline. And worse, this condition can silently progress into something more severe. Like Alzheimer's disease, the sixth leading cause of death among seniors in the United States. But don't worry, because there is hope, and it's much closer than you think. Today, you're going to discover exactly what a renowned 72-year-old neuroscientist eats every night to flush out brain toxins, renew memory, and protect the brain against devastating diseases. I'm not talking about just anything. I'm talking about scientifically proven foods used by some of the greatest minds in neuroscience. For example, Dr. Eric Kandel, Nobel Prize winner, dedicated his life to studying how small habit changes can completely transform brain health. Or Dr. Wilder Penfield, considered the greatest neurosurgeon in history, who showed how brain damage can be reversed through simple stimulation. And cognitive psychologist Dr. Ulrich Neisser, who revolutionized our understanding of memory and showed the deep impact of nutrition on cognition. Stick with me until the end, because in addition to revealing these special foods, I'll share a homemade recipe that's extremely simple and quick, so you can enjoy 100% of the benefits of this scientific discovery. Even better, you probably already have the ingredients in your kitchen right now. You're just preparing them the wrong way. Click the button to subscribe. Your subscription helps us bring powerful science-based information to people who don't have access to renowned doctors, expensive books, or hard-to-understand scientific articles. Now, let's get straight to the point. Food 1. Walnuts, the food that looks like a brain and protects your memory. Have you ever noticed how a walnut looks like a miniature brain? This similarity goes far beyond appearance. It actually works like a real shield for your mind. Let's understand the problem. At night, your brain goes into a cleaning mode called the glymphatic system. It's as if it sweeps away toxins that have built up throughout the day, including proteins like beta amyloid, which is directly linked to Alzheimer's. The problem is that as we age, this system slows down and becomes less efficient. The result? A buildup of toxic waste that poisons the mind, clouds clarity, and sabotages memory. That's where walnuts come in. Studies from the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging show that consuming walnuts daily improves cognitive performance in seniors and reduces inflammatory markers in the brain. That's because walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fat that helps keep neuron membranes flexible and healthy, a key condition for proper communication between them. But there's more. Walnuts also contain natural melatonin, the sleep hormone. And good sleep is precisely when the brain activates its detox function. In other words, eating walnuts before bed doubles the power of your brain's nightly cleanup. A safe and recommended portion for seniors is 4 to 6 walnuts per night. But be careful, don't overdo it, as they are calorie-dense. And of course, if you're allergic to tree nuts, consult your doctor first. You can eat them plain, crushed with banana, or mixed into plain yogurt, which also supports the brain through the gut. But that's a topic for another section. And if you ignore this habit, you'll keep forgetting important appointments, struggling with poor sleep, and waking up with that mental fog. And the next food has an ancient history, and may be even more powerful than you think. Food 2. Blueberries, the blue antidote against brain toxins. Have you ever wondered what brain toxins actually are? They're not something invisible or mystical. They're real substances produced daily by your own body, and their technical name is free radicals. These toxins appear when you breathe polluted air, eat ultra-processed foods, sleep poorly, or are constantly stressed. And over the years, they accumulate in the brain like rust in a machine. The result? Premature aging of neurons, memory difficulties, foggy thinking, and even unexplained mood swings. This is where blueberries come in. These little blue fruits are packed with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier, meaning they reach the brain directly and neutralize free radicals before they can destroy your neurons. A study published in the journal Nutrients revealed that seniors who consumed 1 cup of blueberries per day for 12 weeks showed significant improvement in episodic memory and reaction time, 2 of the cognitive functions that decline the most with age. And there's more. Blueberries also increase the production of BDNF, a protein known as the miracle of the brain, which stimulates the birth of new neurons, even in people over 60. That means you could be building new brain connections while you sleep, as long as you feed your brain the right way. The best time to consume blueberries: at night, about 1 hour before bed, either fresh or as a smoothie with plant-based milk. This will enhance your brain's detoxification during deep sleep. Now, a word of caution: if you have diabetes, choose the unsweetened frozen version, or eat them with fiber, like chia seeds or flaxseed, to avoid blood sugar spikes. Ignoring this simple habit can come at a cost. Over time, these toxins not only damage brain cells, but also increase the risk of diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and even depression. And if you've tried everything to clear your mind and nothing has worked, don't worry, because the next food might finally change that. It activates a kind of nighttime brain cleansing that many doctors still don't know about. Food 3. Turmeric, the brain's nighttime anti-inflammatory. Imagine if you could apply a natural anti-inflammatory directly to your brain every night before bed without side effects. Sounds impossible, but science has already proven that's exactly what turmeric can do. Here's how it works. Over time, the brain suffers from constant microinflammations, often without clear symptoms. They're silent, but destructive. This chronic inflammation is like a glowing ember, slowly burning your brain circuits. It slows down your thinking speed, sabotages short-term memory, and encourages the buildup of toxic plaques between neurons. Turmeric, especially its active compound curcumin, acts like an extinguisher for those embers, blocking inflammatory pathways and stimulating the brain's own antioxidant enzyme production. The best part? When consumed at night, along with a healthy fat like olive oil or coconut oil, curcumin absorption increases by up to 2,000%. That allows it to reach the central nervous system with full force during the most important hours. Deep sleep, when brain cell regeneration takes place. You can mix 1 teaspoon of turmeric into warm plant-based milk with a pinch of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. This is a classic Ayurvedic medicine recipe called golden milk. And here's the most interesting part. Many seniors report better sleep, a sense of clarity upon waking, and even relief from joint pain. With this simple habit, any contraindications? Yes, people with gallstones or blood clotting issues should consult a doctor before using turmeric regularly. Now think about this. If you keep going to bed every night with an inflamed brain, without this natural protection, the result is predictable: more forgetfulness, more irritability, and greater risk of degenerative diseases. And in the next section, I'll reveal a food that may seem ordinary, but has such a powerful medicinal effect that doctors in Japan use it in longevity protocols: the medicinal salmon recipe. Food for wild salmon, the protein that washes your brain during sleep. Few people know this, but the brain is made up of nearly 60% fat. And guess what type of fat it needs the most? The famous omega-3 south, especially the DHA and EPA fatty acids. And this is where wild salmon comes into play. As we age, the brain starts losing its structural flexibility. Imagine old telephone wires with brittle, cracked insulation. That's pretty much how your neurons behave without proper omega-3 replenishment. And the result? Slower connections, memory lapses, difficulty learning, and over time, even personality changes. Pacific wild salmon, unlike farmed ones, contains much higher levels of pure omega-3, as well as astaxanthin, an antioxidant that crosses the blood-brain barrier and helps protect the brain against oxidative stress. But that's not all. When consumed at night, yes, before bed, salmon also stimulates the production of serotonin and melatonin, helping the brain relax, sleep better, and carry out its natural detox process during the night. Now comes the highlight. There's a specific way to prepare salmon that enhances all these effects and even adds neuroprotective ingredients. It's a simple medicinal recipe with just a few ingredients, and best of all, you can learn how to make it right now. It's in the pinned comment of this video, along with a scientific explanation of why certain fish help so much in brain cleansing. If you truly want to reverse this process of silent intoxication, this recipe could be your best starting point. But pay attention. Farmed salmon or trout dyed to look like salmon won't have the same effect. That's why in the full explanation, I show you how to identify real salmon and avoid common traps. If you've been forgetting names, feeling confused with simple tasks, or waking up tired even after hours in bed, click to learn how this preparation can change your routine. Ignoring this tip could mean wasting precious nights that could be regenerating your brain. And the next food might surprise you. It's cheap, easy to find, and hiding in many kitchens, but almost no one knows how to use it to clean the brain. Food 5. Kale, the brain detoxifier that most people use the wrong way on the list of the world's most underrated foods. Kale sits at the top. Cheap, easy to find, but ignored or misused by those who need it most, especially seniors. Have you heard of glutathione? It's known as the master detox molecule, and your liver depends on it to break down toxins that are then eliminated from the body. The problem is, as we age, glutathione levels drop drastically, and that means toxins linger longer in the body, including in the brain. How does that affect your brain? These toxins impair mitochondrial function. That is, they affect brain cells' ability to generate energy. The result? Mental fatigue, trouble focusing, slow thinking, and in more advanced cases, brain degeneration. The good news is that kale is one of the richest natural sources of glutathione, precursors like sulforaphane and vitamin K, and it also contains chlorophyll, which helps clean the blood and assist in heavy metal removal. But here's a little-known fact. Raw kale isn't ideal for people with sensitive digestion or hypothyroidism, as it contains goitrogenic substances. The best way to consume it? Lightly sautéed in olive oil with garlic or in green juices with lemon, which boosts absorption of its bioactive compounds. And the best time? At night, about 2 hours before bed, as it prepares the liver to carry out its detox function while you sleep. Here's a practical tip. Blend kale with water, lemon, and mint, and freeze in cubes. Use it at night before dinner as a detox shot. No fuss, no complications. If you ignore this habit, you're giving toxins room to accumulate, affecting not only your brain, but also your mood, your energy, and even your immune system. Now get ready for something counterintuitive. A fermented food that may seem strange to some, but can restore the connection between brain and gut, and even improve your sleep. Food 6. Kefir, the fermented drink that reconnects the brain to the rest of the body. There's a phrase many doctors wish their patients truly understood. It's not just about the brain. It's about everything the brain controls. It sounds obvious, but in daily practice, when an elderly patient walks into the office complaining of poor memory, fatigue, anxiety, or even constipation, many still fail to see. The brain is crying for help, but using the body as a megaphone. A 72-year-old neurosurgeon we've worked with once said something deeply moving. It doesn't hurt me to see someone's brain aging. What breaks my heart is seeing that person losing their freedom, their independence, their spark, as if they've already given up on themselves. That's why foods that rebuild brain health don't just preserve memory, they restore identity, affection, energy, and the will to live. And among the most powerful is kefir, an ancestral fermented food that works on one of the most surprising pathways in modern medicine, the gut-brain axis. Recent studies show that more than 90% of serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for well-being, mood, and even sleep regulation, is produced in the gut. But here's the catch. It's not the gut alone doing that. It needs to be populated by the right bacteria, the ones that communicate with the brain through the vagus nerve. And that's where kefir shines. It contains millions of live probiotics per spoonful, including strains like Lactobacillus kefiri, which have already shown protective effects against intestinal inflammation and improvement in cognitive functions in seniors. But the most interesting part is that kefir, when taken before bed, helps stabilize the gut microbiota overnight while the brain is undergoing regeneration. This harmony improves mood the next day, increases focus, and even reduces food cravings. You can consume 100 milliliters of kefir at night, plain or mixed with fruits like banana or blueberries. And if you're lactose intolerant, there are water kefir versions just as effective. Only avoid it in cases of severe immunosuppression, such as cancer patients without medical supervision. For most people, kefir is a true mind-body reconnection elixir. If neglected, an imbalanced gut continues sending the wrong signals to the brain, and you feel it as unexplained anxiety, light sleep, constant fatigue, and difficulty making even simple decisions. Now tell me, which of these tips do you find hardest to put into practice? We all have our challenges, and here we want to help you overcome each one with calm, clarity, and support. Take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel. It's through your subscription that we're able to bring this kind of information to more people who are tired of relying on medication and want to care for their minds with awareness, science, and simple solutions. And if you truly want to enhance the effects of these foods and help your brain recover while you sleep, there's another little-known habit. Something simple that can be done in seconds and activates brain regions that have been asleep for years. Watch now and see how combining this habit with what you've learned today could make all the difference in your next years of life.